Welcome back to the after hour session of our Take 10 weekly nights. Finishing off right, we have Strange Aeons on starting book 5, What Grows Within.
Oh,
We're going to introduce from left to right our esteemed colleague, Mr. Malin Gregor Hawken.
yes, I am Gregor, as I'm known to my compatriots. I am the lawful good member of this intrepid crew. I am an inspector for Lepidstadt, the esteemed University of Ustalav, and yeah, I am an old half elf who is getting even older and too old for this shit.
I love it. We have our lovers, our strange lovers slash, star-crossed lovers. That's a better word for it. We have Aaron and Gregor, commanded by Scott.
Aaron and Draymore.
Oh, yeah. I said
Yeah,
Gregor.
that would be awkward. Hi. Say
No,
hi, Draymore.
you need to love yourself.
No.
Oh, excellent. And then we have the wild man himself, Angren Wildmane. He's blue, he grew, he's gonna get you.
Flex impressively.
Like an
Kiss his
Atlas pose.
biceps.
Yeah. All right.
T poses.
When we last left off, Aaron basically wiped the whole fucking enemy.
Yeah.
And then Angren, as a fucking eel, between Aaron and Gregor Angren, they just handedly took care of biting Lash. Well,
Yeah.
the first.
It's pretty
And then-
ridiculous.
The second, Miss Aaron decided to put on a nice little gios, a lifelong quest per se. From once being a slaver to freeing slaves. It's honestly, I thought that was super cool. I loved that little aspect. But the whole point of all that was not only did you get like a map of a quote unquote whereabouts of where Laos went, because these area of the parched lands, which is like on the continent you're on, well, I say continent, more like a big island
Mm.
that you're on, isn't really mapped out. It's just like loosely mapped out. So, but there is an ace in the hole, being a Yithian known as Kaklatoth. Currently trapped in an old body, she explained a number of things to you all last week. A treasure trove of information that's been on Galarian for hundreds of years. She explained that the city of Nerizavin was a paradise known as the Cradle of Heaven. That was his original name. But during this crazy event called Earthfall, kind of shook some things up that was going on. And she'll be more than happy to explain on the way to Nerizavin. But to bring it back once more, we come back to the city that we have so lovingly been a part of. That's nothing but, strawberries, rainbows, nothing horrible going on in the flesh markets of the city.
Yeah.
You all roughly have a day to spend the gold that you got from the nice little treasure trove that you found, and from there, proceed on. Now, I know that the doting players that I have here have already decided what they want to have, so we'll just kind of do a round robin type deal. Gregor, what have you spent your gold towards?
Oh Lord. Honestly, just spent it to upgrade gear that I already had and pay the extra cost to make it done rapidly.
Nice, nice.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, and I think I did actually buy. Yeah. No. I bought a shield because looking back at my character,
wow.
I realized the only reason I didn't have a shield is because I thought it wouldn't function the way I thought it would. But then, yeah, no. Long story short, I've been nerfing myself heavily.
He's taking the weights off now.
Yeah. So I have a +4 mithril buckler.
Holy fuck. Okay.
Yeah, my
Okay.
AC is considerable at this moment.
Man, fragile my goddamn ass.
Hey.
All right. And Angrian, What did the King of Beasts spend his money on?
Oh, the King of Beasts. Am I muted? Okay,
No.
no, I'm not. I spent it on some many good things. I bought myself the third piece to the Beastmaster set. I got myself a greater monkey belt, which unlocks some good things.
Mm-hmm,
Um,
mm-hmm.
I got myself some bestial rags of the owl, which then added the owl to one of my shape change options now.
Nice, nice.
I upgraded my Helm of the Mammoth Lord to the Great Helm of the Mammoth Lord, so I got that going for me.
Nice, nice.
I upgraded both my cloak and ring. Cloak of Resistance to a +4 and my ring up to a +3. And I also got some bands of the Unbreakable Camaraderie.
Oh, that sounds cool. What's that do?
Uh, they are neat, and they are a secret musketeer that might be usable later.
It might be good later. Nice. Okay. So, also, it's so hard not to want to call you fucking Kaido, just because, like, you're such a fucking king of beasts at this point. I need you
Yeah,
to, whenever you laugh, you have to go, whoa, 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 whoa,
he's the part of the
whoa,
Beast
whoa,
Pirates.
whoa, whoa. Even though you're the mammoth, that's more like Jack, really. But anyway. And last but not least, Aaron is nowhere to be found.
What happened?
That is rather vexing to the elderly half elf that is me. But I realize that she is difficult at times, so she's probably just off doing something with Draymore. And then when she did she not come back for like a whole day?
Basically,
So that's when things become different, and I have to like know what happened to her.
well,
Because like
let's
if no one told us that she was like leaving on her own accord, then I, in a city of slavers, am going to assume that she was
the
kidnapped.
worst, yeah. Well, while you all are panicking trying to find her, in the eastern side of the Inner Sea region, in a country that many of us are familiar with, in the central to western side, or I said eastern, on the western side of the Inner Sea region, in a country that we're pretty familiar with as players, and we're looking for a good little city, a nice little spot to have a very special moment. Underneath of a large oak tree in a little town known as
Bethlehem.
Sandpoint.
Oh shit! It's we're in Sandpoint, or there. Well, you're in Sandpoint.
Outside of a wonderful religious building and underneath a nice oak tree, we have presented before us Aaron and Draymore Blackscale. Aaron, take it away for me if you don't care.
There is a third party,
Yeah.
and I have conjured some doves.
Oh.
It is the happiest day of Aaron's life, as her and Draymore have eloped.
Meanwhile, back in fucking the east, fucking Aaron and Gregor are ripping this town apart looking for Aaron.
Where is she?
Sad null noises.
Sad null noise.
Knowing
Yeah.
knowing what is to come, we have decided that if we're going to die happy together. So we spend the day teleporting around Varisia. Basically just seeing the sights. We go to Magnamar. We gaze upon the dome of Crystallon. For a few moments, and a very short few moments, we're on the top of Zinshalass just looking out across the fucking ether.
God bless, you were living life dangerous up there, lad.
It's only for a few moments, you
Yeah.
know, altitude sickness and all that. And then we settle in Riddleport just to see the magnum opus of Thessalonian ruins.
Yeah, the Cipher Gate.
Yeah. And that's where we spend the night. See you in the morning. Halfway through the night, you hear a scream and a squawk.
A scream and a squawk.
Rah!
Now, at this point, are you back in?
No, we spent the night in Riddleport,
Okay, cool.
and then you hear from outside the window, "How the hell did that get there?" I thought you knew.
That's funny as fuck. As a little bird is just tapping on your chamber door.
Mr. Raven! Except, it's not a raven. It's a gull.
Well, look at Draymore. Is it yours? It came out of your back? Lower back? I did not know you had tramp stamp.
Lol.
I didn't either. And then we
Yeah.
cut back, and the next morning there's a crackle and a boom as we appear in front of our two party members.
Yeah, so
Well,
to cut back, Aaron and Gregor, Aaron and Draymore left without a word. They, you all did like your shopping, and you're like, well, it's not uncommon for them to like do their own thing. But as the waning hours, you came back to your little hovel you would have picked to stayed in, and no one's there. What's the thought pattern? What's going on here?
like,
Which way did they go?
yeah, if they just suddenly reappeared, Gregor, very used to this kind of behavior, would just be very relieved, but, like, unsurprised, and just not freak out about it.
Nice. You do realize that they do have two little rings on.
Oh. Tell me, I forgive a old questioner's questions. Those wouldn't happen to be wedding rings, would they?
I just smile, and then a seagull lands on your head and pecks you.
Well,
I didn't know y'all got married.
I try to bat it away, failingly.
He's trying to eat some magical item on your possession.
I try to shoo it away with my cane. Tell it to stay off my property like the old man that I am.
I call it back over to me.
Well,
I apparently had this the entire time.
What? Is it a familiar for you?
Yes, it was in a tattoo.
You
on
can
my
now
back.
stretch your arm, and it'll turn into a tattoo back once more.
Yes.
You continue to confuse me, Aaron, but I will not even attempt to understand the youth of a kitsune. So, are we all ready for the next are we all done with our reprieve?
A woman dressed in rags that's like, half your height says, I was wondering when you all would be ready. As she appears out of nowhere, it's Kakatoth.
I was born ready, Zach.
But her name's not Zach.
She says, Tell me, strangers. Well, strangers, I have known you since you were an eye and yes, human terms are lost on me.
Indeed.
Are you ready?
I suppose I'm not getting any younger.
Perilous journey.
We've been through a number of perilous journeys, and while I'm assured that this will not be even close to the lot of them in terms of them not being as dangerous, we do have a mission, and every moment we stay here, Laos gets further away.
She nods and she says, This is very fair. Come, we will need to have some animals to take us. We
Oh,
can
wait.
teleport close enough. However, we cannot teleport directly into the city.
Ah, yes.
We'll arrive roughly a mile or two from outside its perimeters.
I see. Well,
It will also be extremely warm. I would also purchase some sun gear as well,
oh, I see.
which is very cheap. It's like a gold piece.
I imagine like Aeons wearing that red and white striped bathing suit from like the 50s.
Yes. But except I tore the top half off, so it's just a Speedo.
or you tore the sleeves off, so like your fucking biceps are showing.
I'm just picturing Frankie almost.
Oh my god. From One Piece.
Super.
Yes, I suppose. Not suit weather then.
She says, you would
No,
most
it's too
likely
warm for
swelter.
I see. So we're going to the tropics then. Excellent. I do as is instructed and return some minutes later with more appropriate wear. I look like Indiana Jones whenever they're in the Middle East.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that.
Got a
I have
turban
a
and everything.
very large sun hat on.
I've used my
Nice.
my bowler. I've used its magic to turn the bowler into a turban.
Oh, it's awesome.
Draymore looks like a snaky sultan.
Excellent.
Heck
It looks like
yeah.
the fucking the snake people from Tarkir, Magic the Gathering setting.
Oh, yeah.
The Naga
yeah,
people?
Yeah.
I thought it would be in bad taste to buy him a very large jar.
Yes.
Quiet you.
I do believe that marriage is enough of a constraint. You don't actually require a real container.
He laughs. He says, "It is wearing on me now."
Well, good luck to you. I await
he looks at
transformation.
you and instead of smiling, his tongue flickers out and licks his eyeball.
Erin is happy. Her tails are wagging.
He also
How many do you have now? Do you have 9?
I've got 8.
8. Okay, so you're almost there.
I'll get it at 17.
At this point, Kakatoth kind of like takes you out, and as she's getting you a little bit outside of the city, because obviously you don't want anyone like really seeing this, she extends her hands out to you all, like they like hold hands in a circle, more or less.
I grab it.
Her hand is extremely frail for whoever's holding her hands. Like, there's no firmness whatsoever. It's just it's like a limp fish.
What a wonderful slave she must have made. Yeah,
Right.
I will, I guess, make a circle with everybody.
Yeah. She says, "Now, I do not possess the power to teleport us there.
What?
However, I can extend my knowledge to Aaron, who can do it for us.
Oh,
I'm ready.
This will be uncomfortable."
Isn't it always?
She says, "Aaron, begin casting the spell."
I do so.
As you begin casting the spell, she is waiting for like the exact moment that you would like be ready to finish the incantation. Wow, your fucking dearly beloved is rubbing off on you.
I just wrote the thing in. I haven't gone back and put it in.
You can use the compendium.
It's right there. No, at the last second, she will send a jolt of what feels like fucking needles going through everyone's head at the last second.
Oh, jeez.
But at this time, everyone gets a clear image of what Narazavin used to look like
Oh,
as
nice.
a glorious city built out of just wonderful pewter, outlined in gold, jade, just lavish to the fucking T. Until eventually, you all are whisked away into the desert.
Oh.
Whenever you arrive, the only thing different is the city that was behind you is gone, and you're literally in the middle of dunes right now.
The fucking heat hits me like whenever you open an oven checking on food. And
Exactly.
I will say, oh, Lord! It's hard to breathe.
He pulls up a couple of her rags over top of her head to kind of give her a little bit of like protection, and she says, "It should be this way." As she like begins slowly walking to a certain direction.
Oh, Lord. Might I assist you, dear? And I'll kind of offer a hand or an arm.
She laughs and says, "I think the assistance needed is for you as well as me."
Well, I have a cane, so I suppose
Fair
I have to
enough.
use it to assist the both of us.
She nods and begins walking with your assistance.
Yes.
If there's any other questions you wish to ask Kaklatoth, this is the time to do so.
So, what planet exactly did you reside in again? As you said, you are extraterrestrial.
It is hard to describe. It has been such a long time since I was there that I cannot remember my exact time when I came to Glorian. I just know that I've been to many planets. It's as if... Do you understand what it's like to eat many different forms of the same thing?
No, not at all, actually. So, I don't recall you were using the term eat when it came to something that you were into. Did you create this form, or did you take this form from something?
Well, of course I took it.
Was it willing?
She says, is there anything else you wish to ask me?
I see. Well, I honestly cannot say I approve, but if you are our only method, then I suppose that this is going to have to be for now.
The other hand that she's not using like prop herself up, she throws what appears to be like a minor image in front of you all. And she says, these are the things that attacked our beloved Nether Zavin once upon a time.
Oh. Oh. That is just awful.
The creature is like squirming around, always shifting, elongating, and just flying through the air.
Yeah, it's just a big mess.
Yeah,
Mess
just
of
a
teeth, tentacles, and eyes.
oh yeah, just a true Cronenberg, just horrible
Looks
thing.
like them gibbering mouth flesh thing,
Yes,
except
she-
it has eyes.
She nods and she says, they are very similar. These creatures known as polyps, they are worshippers of Haster. All they do to further his goal. His decadence, and just everything for him.
They are intelligent.
They are extremely intelligent. They are the ones that built the Star Stellas.
This is mind-boggling. How could something so hideous be so... Oh, Lord.
He says, just because something is hideous in nature does not mean it is unintelligent.
That is fair.
Now, when Earthfall came to your planet years ago, it brought an unexpected guest. I think you know the one I am referring to.
Who?
The one whose name we shall not speak.
Ah, yes, I read it in a book. He who shall not be named.
Indeed. The last remnant of him who will not be named fell upon Earthfall. When Earthfall was striking the continent, or just Galarian as a whole, part of the asteroids that were coming down was drawn to the Star Stellas. The Old One himself fell into the lake outside Nether Zavin, and there began waiting. As I mentioned before, his power grows with each person that knows of him.
The Dark Lord is trickery that way.
Indeed. She says, I'm so happy to see you're so apt to this.
Yes.
She continues and says, now, to put it bluntly, Nether Zavin was a paradise, but as people began understanding what he was, they began not returning. They began fulfilling his goal instead of the Great One, the Outer God himself, Haster. While both power Carcosa, one indirectly just powers Carcosa and not Haster. Haster gets less energy that way. But since he who will not be named was gathering followers and slowly but surely would have infected and destroyed this planet, it was up to us, the Ithians, to fight back the polyps that were helping along with his taint. And we were certain that we did so. We even had a little bit of help.
Mm.
I have not seen one for a long time. Hopefully it's still sleeping.
Yes, I must say, even for a man of my intellect, this goes a bit way over my head.
Indeed. When we released the Tarrasque, we did not know what to do.
The, the what?
She says,
You know, the Tarrasque.
you do not think
I mean,
that
I
we could
heard
have-
what she said, but
we could not have stopped all the polyps on our own. They were numerous.
this must have been, of course, something in the Dreamlands. Yes, the Tarrasque is simply a creature of legend. It never truly existed.
Oh,
He
great
says,
Lord.
you will see for yourself the destruction that befell Neruzavan at the Tarrasque's hand.
Oh, why do I continue to be surprised by these things?
You are a man of questions. I respect that, being inquisitive in nature. But you must open your horizons, broaden them, and be careful of what you learn. What is seated in you may sprout.
Yes, I'm aware of this. I can't wait to turn into a mushroom.
If only it was that simple. Your insides would become fungal in nature. All pain would cease to exist.
Please, I'll raise a hand and say that does not require further investigation.
Fair enough.
Oh, don't paint yourself a bad picture, Gregor. I already think you're a fun guy.
Kaklatoff looks at you and says,
And you're in Wildmane, everybody.
well, not yet, but I suppose... Oh, this is humor.
Yes, he thinks he's quite
Yes.
funny. And I honestly think that was rather witty. Bravo, sir.
It took me that whole time to figure that one out.
Yes.
She looks at Aneurin, like, unblinking and says, is this where I laugh?
Yes.
She just goes, huh. Like the most pitiful laugh you ever heard.
Hey, laugh to laugh.
You're already doing better than Draymore.
Everyone looks back to Draymore. He licks the other eyeball.
What?
What? After a little bit of time, you all continue down the path. And, you slowly begin to start to see something over what almost appears to be a mirage. You can tell you're starting to make some progress, finally. And she continues to say... she continues on and says, at the height of the Age of Destiny, scholars from a glorious Ninshabar embarked on a bold expedition to map these parchlands. When they found the accursed city, Neruzavan, they began becoming plagued by nightmares. Because of this alien city now, its monstrous infestation, they all began having nightmares of a city outside of time. Something in tattered, yellowed robes. A monster. Supposedly turning them from regular being into creature. Through their dreams. We had never heard of such a thing. Have you encountered anything like that on your travels?
What is it?
A creature. Whenever these explorers were mapping the parchlands, and they found Neruzavan, as they slept outside the cursed city, they began having dreams of a city outside of time, and a strange figure dressed in tattered robes would attack them in their dreams, turning them into monsters.
A city outside of time?
Could
Have
you
you
be?
heard-
Could you be referring to the one guy in the shack by the lake?
No, this is a disciple of Haster himself.
Yes, a denizen of Ling, perhaps?
No, some aberration.
An
He,
aberration.
all he was known as is a creature that wore tattered yellow
Oh, yes, the
robes.
Tatterman. We have had a run-in with this figure. He was rather difficult to deal with, and I'm certain that he more likely has regenerated back in the land of dreams. I dare say we have grown quite a bit since then, and unless he has grown, we would make quick work of him.
That is excellent to hear. However, along with all the monsters that became of him, and all the ones that fell to other dreams, they began slowly calling to Zamindor once more. Once they were taken care of, like I said with the Tarask, it seems as though your count rediscovered references to the one who will not be named. And through this, he restarted the process of reviving the abomination. And from my findings into the future, he has sacrificed expendable mercenaries. No offense to you all.
I would say we were expendable to him. I wouldn't think any of us expendable. But, you know.
You know, he probably would have got away with all this if, hadn't got rid of us.
If it wasn't for us meddling kids and our fox girl.
Wait, is Aaron Scooby?
No,
I mean,
no. That's
she literally
totally
turns into
Greymore.
a canine, so.
That's fair.
She is a canine.
Lol.
Nice. All I know
I mean,
is that once we get to
I
the city...
don't turn into a canine. That's the funny part.
Oh, you actually don't, do you?
Nope.
You're Shaggy, though. Oh, and Gregor's Velma.
And I was gonna say, I'm Professor Hyde White! Which is a little meme with the Scooby-Doo people.
Oh, actually, I don't get that.
Yeah, trust me, it's better you don't.
This is Aaron looking at fucking Gregor during the entire conversation. Thursday night.
What happened?
No, that's this.
What happened?
Oh, this.
What happened?
What happened?
Oh, that's so good.
you,
But-
you barely even pronounce the syllable of
What happened?
You just go,
Yeah.
what happened?
What happened?
Yeah, to understand what the hell we're talking about, be sure to ask to join our Discord.
For sure. But, like I said, as this is the calm before the storm, as you finally begin to lay eyes on the city itself, nothing but dread comes over you. You just feel ill winds. This is a place that you all shouldn't be, but you know you must journey into to find what grows within. I welcome you all to the ruins of Netherzaven.
Oh, grand. Wonderful. Love it.
It's a tiny little speck of dust, isn't it?
I can't tell how large this is supposed to be.
This right here is 1 mile.
What?
Oh, he's big.
Oh, this little measurement tool down here?
That's
Yes.
a mile.
Holy shit.
He's big.
This is
Yeah.
fucking huge.
No, like, this is a monstrous. Like, this is a ginormous place. Like, what happens is, as you all are like kind of peeking over the top, you all begin like coming to like cliff facing, and when you look down, this is what you see spanning for miles, like unending. Most of it, like the gravel part, is like just straight up like rock and gravel and ruins.
Mhm.
But you can see what was the Splendor at one point in time.
Yeah, this place is from like that point to that point, just over 6 miles across.
Yes, like
He's a big place.
yeah, like this is one of the ancient wonders of the world. It would have been at one point in time if it would have stood the test of time.
And yes,
But
we
as you can
how
see,
clearly it has.
something came through here and destroyed it real nice and proper.
Right. Well, I hate it here. Let us see if we can find Laos, eh? And get away from here as quickly as we can.
The
Question. Where are we? On the map, of course.
She pulls out a map, and let me take you
You
to
don't.
it.
You don't actually have to do that. A simple describing of where. Oh, okay.
You're on number 6 right here.
Yeah, yes.
Somewhere in the middle of the desert. Like,
Okay, we're
undisclosed.
just somewhere in this area.
Correct.
Okay,
We've gone a long way.
we've been traveling.
We can go
Yeah,
down here and live
from-
forever if we drink some magical plant goo.
Is that?
Oh,
is that there?
the sunflower orchid.
Is
Yeah.
that in Jalmaray? I don't think it's in
Yeah.
Jalmaray.
It's in Jalmaray.
Is it Jalmaray?
Man, this look at this really quick before we bring us to a close. Because this is, like I said, this is the calm before the storm before we truly get started. What an adventure a circle you all have been
Chasing around some nerd with a book.
Yeah.
on. Oh, I mean, seriously, we got to get a good picture of it. A good little shot of him really quick before we go back to the.
It's not just a book; it's the book.
To be fair, he has been running around the Necronomicon for like a book and a half
the
now.
spooky book. The spooky book.
The spook book.
He's such a fucking cool looking dude too.
He looks like poo.
This is Scott. This is actually Scott. If Scott was to go off the deep end.
You're not wrong, but instead of Hounds of Tendalos, it's Hounds of Chicken Tendies and Cactuses.
Holy shit! I imagine Josh Roach you're familiar now.
How many good boy points do you have to spend on those tendies?
I live with my
Just-
wife.
Yeah.
Wait,
Oh.
is she the one giving them out?
No,
If-
but she's
if
the
so,
reason
you-
I got him.
I was gonna say, if she's giving them out, you got negative points.
Man,
boy.
you in the hole. I'm sending your ass to collections.
I'm calling the IRS because you're skimming.
You skimming. Well, to bring us to a short session, very short, but don't worry, for everyone involved, I greatly look forward to what's getting ready to start happening next time on Strange Aeons, What Grows Within. So, from us to you all, thank you for taking 10 with us, and we'll see you next week. Say goodbye, everyone.
Good night, everybody.
Thanks for coming to my wedding.